Popcorn. Want to go to the movies? Actually, that's where popcorn became very popular, was at the movies. This is a luscious bowl of popcorn, and I wish you were here to smell it. Oh, they say that the smell of popcorn is one that human beings just love, makes us salivate, and we can't help but take one to taste it. So, I want to show you the different ways you can buy popcorn, and I want to talk to you about the labels on them. So let's go down here. Now, you can buy popcorn already popped. It comes in bags, and it's just sitting here waiting for you. They have different flavorings. So I've chosen one that's pretty plain. And when you read the label here, it says that 150 calories per serving, which you know is pretty minimal compared to what we mostly would eat. But that the amount of calories is 150, and that 90 of those calories are fat. And that's because they've added stuff to this, and they popped it in oil. And they popped it in a healthy oil. They did canola oil, which is better than, you know, some other oils. And then here's probably the most popular way that we like to do it is in these little bags, and we pop them in the microwave, and it's really fast and real easy. And you know, I like to do things the easy way, but you got to be careful here. There's 160 calories per bag. Now this is the mini bag. They said there's 10 servings in here. I'm sorry, I don't know anybody that would take 5 cups and not eat the whole thing. I would. Now there's 160 calories per popped bag, and 100 of those calories are from fat. Now, you have to read the labels. I chose ones that were very mild. They didn't have a lot of fat, didn't have a lot of calories from the fat. You need to read the labels. They're all very different. It took me a while to find these two that had the least. It was very nice. You know, it's kind of like, well, I might be able to eat this. Now, the cheapest way to buy popcorn and make it into popcorn is in the bags where you just see the popcorn. Now, popcorn is a special corn. They are very, very hard on the outside. She's why it feels like BBs in here whenever you're putting your hands through it. And that's what makes it work, is this really tough exterior on it that it takes a lot of heat inside to make it explode. And they have some fat in there, it has some water in there, and it has some starch in there. And then when it gets above the temperature of boiling water, it explodes and becomes this. Now, you can also buy popcorn on the cob. So this gives you a way to see how it is when you buy it in the bag. You may take one out for you, and let me see if I can show it to you. Now these I actually can pop on the cob, but you've got to be sure that they are popcorn. You cannot pop the sweet corn that we eat. Oh, can't get that out. The popcorn that we eat, oh, this is so hard. It feels like, you know, you couldn't eat it. You cannot eat this. So you want to be sure it's popcorn. That's what you get when you buy them in the store, is popcorn. Now, there's 2 different kinds of popcorn. If you'll look at this really close, I hope you can see this. See how this one has like a little mushroom end on it? Doesn't have a lot of stuff at the bottom. It has this little, I don't know what you'd call that. Looks like a hairdo or something. Anyway, that's one kind of popping way. And then the other one is that it just kind of pops all out on all sides. This is what they say we prefer to eat because it's crispier and it's not soggy at all. These can be a little chewier, the ones that are fatter at the top. So that's what happens when you pop the popcorn. Now, you can pop popcorn in a skillet or in a big pot. Put oil on the bottom and put your popcorn in. That way you add fat. Now, that's the way it's always been done. Native Americans in our country were the first ones that popped popcorn, and they don't know exactly how long they have been doing it. But the way that is the healthiest way is to use an air popper like this one. And what happens is you put the popcorn down inside here, and then you turn it on. And it makes the popcorn move around. It heats it up. And then it starts popping and it comes out here and you catch it in the bowl. And the reason why this is very good is because you don't add oil. You're only hot air popping it, and you can use the bagged popcorn. That's what you use, and it's a lot cheaper than buying any other way that the popcorn is prepared. So, and actually, it became very popular during the Depression because people couldn't afford very much. They didn't have much money, and some people were entrepreneurial enough to pop it and go sell it, and they could sell it very cheaply. And then again, it became very popular during World War II when there was very little sugar because it was rationed, and people went to the movies a lot, and they ate popcorn at the movies, and that's when it started being at the movies. So it's kind of a little history on the popcorn. So once you get the popcorn popped in your air popper, one of the things that we often do is that this little dish on top is where you put a little butter, and then you stick it up here and it supposedly melts. Sometimes it doesn't melt as good as others. And then we pour that butter on top. That's when we add the fat to our popcorn. So you want, if you are watching calories, measure the amount of butter that you put in at the top, and then when you pour it over, you've added that. And if you're watching your sodium in your diet, when you buy this, it has no sodium. When you buy it in the package or in the microwave packets, they have sodium. So if you're watching your diet for sodium, then air pop it, and you are not adding salt unless you take the opportunity to put it in yourself. And so that way it's really a healthy diet. You can add this to kids' lunches. It's a great way to have a lunch snack that's kind of different for their lunches. Put it, air pop it, put it in a little bag, and try not to add the fat and the salt to their diet unless the rest of their meal has no salt in it, of course. But popcorn is one of those snacks that when we go to the movies, we wish we had a bunch, and we might want to put the butter on top. So think about that when you start to add that. There's also some people pop this and use it for packing material, which I find I'd rather eat it than pack it with it. But go to my website. I have more information about the history of popcorn and the different ways you can use it and season it for all the good times you're going to have.